3, Mishna Gimel, Mishna 3. And today's learning is sponsored as a merit for Refuah Shalema for Chiena Bas Mushka. So Refuah Shalema. Okay. Ve'elu kaisma b'mayid. Now, quick introduction. Work requiring professional skill, called a Maisa Uman, is generally prohibited in Chol HaMoed unless it is needed to prevent the loss. It is therefore generally prohibited to write official documents, since these are normally written in a skilled and exacting manner. The documents mentioned in our Mishna are needed to prevent either financial or personal loss, and therefore they may be written on Chol HaMoed. That's the point here. Something that takes it needs a professional touch to it, like these documents. Typically, from the point of the starting point of halacha, they should not be able to be done because anything that's a ma'isa umin can only be done. It can't be done. It can only be done to prevent a loss. And in all the examples we're going to give, it's to prevent a loss. These are the documents that we may write during Chol HaMoed. Kedushay Nashim, a document for the purpose of kedushin, of betrothing a woman. The first stage of marrying a woman is kedushin, and one of the ways you can do kedushin is with a shtar, a document. In the document, you write to the woman, "Harayat mekudeshes li," you are mekudeshes to me. You know, we typically do it with a ring, with what's called kesef, but you can do it with a shtar also. You hand her a document that says that. And that document would get her married. Would start them. She would be married to you. Then you complete it with a chuppah. So the point is, you can write. So what do you got to do in a Chol HaMoed for? Wait till after Yontif to marry her. The answer is no. Somebody else is going to chop her. Somebody else may decide to marry her and take her away from you. So therefore, you're allowed to do it on Chol HaMoed. The next example is gittin, a bill of divorce. Now, what's the rush? The answer is that this bill of divorce is not in a case is in a very unique case. The common practice was that if a person in the times of the Mishnah went out on a long journey, a dangerous journey, a journey they may not return from. So if he goes out on a journey, doesn't return, and you don't know what happened to him, his wife is stuck. There's no like in law, 7 years, he's gone for 7 years, the marriage is done. Doesn't work like that in Torah law. So therefore, what they did was that before they would leave, they'd give their wife a bill of divorce to make sure that she shouldn't be stuck if case doesn't come back. So therefore, that's the rush here. You can write on Chol HaMoed because if he's leaving on a trip on Chol HaMoed, he's got a long trip to go, he's got to leave Chol HaMoed, you can write the get, you can write the divorce in order to make sure she doesn't get stuck if he doesn't come back. The Rishoivrin. A Rishoivrin means to write a receipt. Okay? Write a receipt for a loan. Now, here the rush is because the person who's ready to pay you, the money he owes you, says, I'm not paying unless I get a receipt. Okay? Now, if you tell him, we got to wait till after Yontif. So he's going to decide to leave town and you're going to be stuck. So therefore, a shayva, a receipt, is also permissible to write during Chol HaMoed. Next, the yadiki. The yadiki are testaments of a gifts given by a seriously ill person. So let me read to you what this is talking about. This is a document recording the request of a shchiv meirah. A shchiv meirah is the term used for somebody who is very ill, seriously ill person. The sages decreed that a seriously ill person can transfer property through oral declaration alone, without the formal kinyan that is necessary to transfer property under normal circumstances. Okay, typically you have to go through some kind of an act of acquisition. By this ill person, seriously ill person, he says it's as good as done. Okay, now, they also add in brackets, the oral declaration is effective only if the person actually died from the present illness. Now, however, a document recording the transaction is required in order to prove that it took place. This document may be written on Chol HaMoed in case the witnesses leave town after the festival and not available to sign it then. If you want to write a document that this shchiv meirah gave this gift to somebody, you have to have proof. The proof is going to start with witnesses, and the witnesses are going to sign on the document. Well, if the witnesses leave town after Yontif, you're going to be stuck. So therefore, you can write this document on Yontif. Matana, a document giving a gift. Here you have a document attesting to a gift. Now they say here, bring down here in the notes, this refers to a gift of real estate. There is a concern that the giver may regret the gift and deny that the transaction ever took place, causing a loss of the person who received the gift, meaning he gave him a gift. Now, without a proof, though, he's going to say, I never gave it to you. And it's a piece of land that nobody's going to really know unless you have proof. So therefore, we say that you can write that proof of the gift on Chol Hamoed. Pruzbulin. Okay, the next example is a pruzbul. A pruzbul, we had it over a year ago. The halacha, the Torah says that Shemitah, the 7th year of the Garishkol cycle, the end of that year at the end, it takes off all debts. So the Mishna says that to say Hillel, in order, people were getting discouraged from lending money to people because of the fact that they would be afraid that Shemitah lose the money by Shemitah. So therefore, it was instituted to write a document, which is called a pruzbul. In this document, you give the debts over to the basin, to the rabbinical court. Once it's in the hands of the rabbinical court, Shemitah cannot take it off. And when you collect it, you're collecting it as the agent of basin. So here too, a pruzbul may be written Chol Hamoed, because the lender might not find an eligible court after the festival. He may not find the court that he needs to be able to process this after Yontif. So if he has it now, we say do it. Okay. Igreis Shum. Igreis Shum means a letter of evaluation of a borrower's property so that a lender may collect his loan from it. So they explain. A document written by a court evaluating a borrower's property so that a lender can collect his loan from it if the borrower cannot pay. Now, okay, so you write this document evaluating the property of the borrower. Immediately before this document is written, the loan document is torn up. You're not going to have two documents on this. Okay? Now, our Mishnah refers to a situation in which the loan document has already been destroyed, but the document of evaluation has not yet been drawn up. Somebody kind of rushed to tear up the to tear up the IOU. You really need to write up that document of evaluation. Now, should the witnesses leave without signing this document, the lender would be left with nothing, right? The witnesses that you need to testify that there was this loan. If they're going to leave town, you're going to be stuck. Therefore, it is permitted to write the document on Chol Hamoed. Okay, that's that case. The next case is Igreis Mazon. Letters testifying that someone has agreed to support another person. So this is explained. A document stating that a man obligated himself to provide for his stepdaughter's support. That's a typical case here. He married a woman, she has a daughter, and the man writes a document to say that he takes upon himself to support her. Since the witnesses might not be available after the festival to testify to the obligation, the sage is permitted writing such a document in Chol Hamoed, meaning you might say, let's wait till after Chol Hamoed to write, and we'll add witnesses to the fact that you obligated yourself. And the answer is, well, if the witnesses pack out, and you're not going to have any testimony, how are you going to write the document? Therefore, we say, do it right away. Next case, Shtore Chalitza Umeunin, a certificate of Chalitza. That means in a situation where a man dies without children, and his brother either has to marry his sister-in-law or give her Chalitza. And the process was that when giving her a Chalitza, he would give her a document to say that she had Chalitza, now she can marry anybody she wants. So here too, we want to make sure that she will be able to, the court then draws up, the certificate may be written on Chol Hamoed, because the woman might meet a man who wants to marry her immediately after the festival. She may meet someone else to marry her right after the Yontif, and she needs a shtar Chalitza right away. Therefore, we say you can go ahead and you can write it up right away. The next example is a shtar mi'unin, which literally means a certificate of refusal. Now, what that means is like this. According to biblical law, a father may give his underage daughter, meaning his daughter who is under bas mitzvah age, he may give his underage daughter in marriage. That is the power that a man has. A father has over a daughter, according to Torah law. In case of an orphan, no father, the sages gave this right to her mother or brothers to marry her off. It's a rabbinic marriage. Since a marriage affected by the mother or brothers is valid only by rabbinic law, a regular divorce is not required in order to end this marriage. rather the girl, may annul the marriage herself at any time before she becomes of age, meaning before she becomes bas mitzvah, by declaring before a court of 3 judges that she does not wish to continue in the marriage. This process is called mian, refusal. The court then gives her a document certifying that she has annulled her marriage and is now permitted to remarry. The certificate may be issued on Chol HaMoed because she might reach maturity soon after the festival, and then it will be too late for her to annul the marriage. If no certificate is issued, she will have no proof that she had performed mian while still a minor. So we want to make sure that she gets it done right away so that it doesn't land up that, she becomes bas mitzvah shortly after Yantif. She can't do mian then. If she doesn't have a certificate, she can't prove that she had mian done, that she did mian. And again, maybe she's going to marry somebody else right away, right after Yantif. And therefore, we say that this document testifying to the fact that she performed the mian was done. Okay, next. Ushtare berurin. Ushtare berurin means documents recording which judges have been selected to judge a case. So that means like this. People involved in a monetary dispute may each choose one of the 3 judges needed to try such a case. Meaning, one person involved chooses one judge, the other person involved chooses another judge, and then the 3rd judge is either chosen by both together or by the other 2 judges who already were appointed. After the judges have been agreed upon, it is necessary to record the decision in writing so that no one can back out of his choice. So therefore, again, in order to make sure there's no problems by waiting until after Yantif, therefore they record it right away. Okay? The next case, Gzeres Bezdin, the edicts that the rulings handed down by Bezdin. These need to be done immediately so the decision is not forgotten. They made a decision about something, right? If you don't write it down, it can be forgotten. So therefore, you write it down right away, even though it's Chol HaMoed. And the last case of the Mishnah is Igrei Shel Shum, which means permissible letters. That means social letters between people. A social letter is typically not done in a professional manner, and therefore there's no problem writing it on Chol HaMoed. People usually do not write personal letters in a skilled manner. As we have learned earlier, work that is not a skilled craft is permissible for the sake of the festival. Sending personal letters on Chol HaMoed is considered a festival need, since it adds to the festival joy of both the recipient and the sender. So again, writing is something that, is a malacha. You shouldn't be able to do it. It can only be, even if it's not a professional act, but the mere writing is a malacha. You shouldn't be able to do it. The answer is, if it's for the need for Yantif, you may do it. Therefore, it is considered sending a social letter is considered adding to the joy of the Yantif, both for the sender and for the recipient. Okay, let's do now Chofetz Chaim.
It seems.
Okay, let's finish up. Okay, now we're now in Klal Aleph, chapter 1, Sif Hey, paragraph 5. Ein chilak be'isur asipur. When it comes to the prohibition of speaking lashon hara, there's no difference. Beinim sipur be'atzmai b'rtzaynei, whether he willingly spoke the lashon hara on his own, or beinim amar alav chaver b'devarim v'tzirai achesaper loy, or his friend came and nudged him and bothered him until he gave him the information he was looking for. Even if you did it under pressure, mikamakim asa nonetheless is still forbidden. Even your father or your rebbe, your teacher, who you were obligated to honor them and to revere them, and not to go against their words. If they ask from you to tell them about something, and he knows by telling over this piece of information that they want, that he will land up speaking lashon hara, or even what we call a dusting of lashon hara, indirect lashon hara. Also, the shmai lahem, he's not to listen to them. Now, we're going to learn that there are situations that you can give a bad report for constructive purpose. So, it's very possible that your father or your rebbe are asking you this for a constructive purpose. But sometimes it can happen that they're asking you for something, and the information they're looking for would not be constructive. That would therefore be lashon hara. In that situation, we not be able to respond to them. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.